Good evening, guys, and welcome back in a new video, of course, on this channel. As always, today another English video. As always on Monday there is an English video on this channel. And before we start with the video, of course, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Actually, we reached 200 subscribers a couple of days ago. I think it was Friday, if I remember well. Yes, it was Friday. It was 2nd of June. Huge achievement, huge milestone. And I want you to keep going, guys. And this channel has to be like a rocket through the space. It doesn't stop at some point. It goes and it gets out of the atmosphere. So the goal is to reach, so there are also two goals, short-term and long-term. Short-term goal is to reach 215 subscribers before the end of the French Open. Then the long-term goal, even if it's not long-term, but medium at least, is to reach 300 subscribers before the start of US Open. So there are 3 months, approximately, before the US Open starts. We can do it, I think. We have to put a lot of effort in it, but I think it's possible. They want to talk about, of course, as always, I want to talk about tennis, and I want to talk about Alexander Zverev. I want to change a little bit the topic, guys. I don't want to talk about the big threes and Alcaraz only. I want to talk about also other players. Today I want to talk about Sascha Zverev's chances to be back at the highest level. So we know that Zverev is a very good player, of course. I don't have to say it to you in order to know it. Zverev won 19 titles, which is a lot, I think. He won 5 Masters 1000, he reached the Grand Slam final, he won the Olympics. He won 2 NIT ATP finals. That's a huge number. You have to think about that, for example, players such as Nadal, who's, in my opinion, top 3 of all time, and in everyone's opinion, or not everyone's, but the majority of people's opinion, Nadal is top 3 at least. He could be even top 2 or top 1. Well, top 3 means either 4th, 2nd, 3rd. He won 2 finals and Nadal won 0, so that's a huge achievement, honestly. That's a huge achievement from Zverev. Today I want to talk about his chances of coming back at the highest level, as I've said before. We know that Zverev picked up an injury in last year's French Open semi-final, which was exactly today it's the 5th, guys, what a disaster. Is the 5th of June, so it's exactly 1 year ago that semi-final against, no, not the semi-final, the semi-final was 3rd of June, Nadal's birthday. So 1 year ago, approximately, 367 days ago, Zverev picked up that disastrous injury that costed him the rest of the season, and costed him a lot of things. That was really unlucky, honestly. He felt bad, and, he broke his ankle. That was a really sad injury, honestly. 2 days ago, actually, I've seen the match of Zverev against Francis Tiafoe, and I was really scared at 2 moments where Zverev was kind of sleeping on the clay there, and that was really scary because since that injury, every time that we saw him falling, it's scary. It's scary for him, for us less, but for him it's really scary. And that has a huge impact on you, I'm talking generally, on you mentally. An injury like this had an impact on Zverev, that's clear, and it would have had an impact on everyone had someone picked up an injury such as the injury that Zverev picked up 1 year ago. It had a huge mental impact on the player, and it's normal, of course. It's normal because an injury like this, it's really tough to handle. He should have been back at the Davis Cup, but he forced too much in training sessions and he couldn't be back at the Davis Cup, so he came back after a couple of months. Actually he came back in United Cup this year. And we saw that, of course, he was struggling. He played the United Cup where he didn't win a match, or if he won 1 match, still was struggling a little, not a little, a lot. Then, Australian Open, 4th round against Varillas, who's, yes, he's a great player. He reached the 4th round in Roland Garros this year, but on our courts, honestly, it's not that top player. to say the least. Then, second round, he won that match in 5 sets, but against a player such as Zverev, as I said, for Zverev it's not normal. Then, of course, he played against Mo, and he played. To be honest, that was one of the worst matches I've ever seen, quality speaking, in a Grand Slam. In my opinion, that match was awful. Maybe I'm too severe, but I didn't like that match. Maybe I'm too harsh, but I didn't like the match. I'm not going to say that I liked the match because it was really boring. Honestly, the level of play was bad. Mo is a player that doesn't have those huge shots, and Zverev was probably at 30-40% of the level. Then he played Dubai, played great, so he started playing a little bit better. I think that Zverev touched the lowest point of his career, possibly since he became a top player. He touched the lowest point of his career, mentally also speaking, in these years, Madrid round of 16 against Alcaraz. That loss was really humiliating for a player of his caliber. You play against Carlos Alcaraz, who's the best player in the world as of today, and this is a match that is going to show a lot of things. It's going to show if you're competitive against the best players in the world, if you're not competitive against the best player in the world, how far you are from it, even maybe if you're better than the best player in the world on that specific day. And Zverev lost badly. He won 3 games, if I remember well, and that was really, really awful. I mean, that was really tough for Zverev, honestly, mentally speaking. He wasn't there. I mean, Carlos at the end also encouraged him. He probably said to keep going even though the difficulties, and that was when Zverev touched the lowest. Because that tournament was that match was possibly one of the worst matches of Zverev's career. And that's really sad, of course, to see a player like him, who was one of the best players in the world until the injury, to struggle that much. He had a kind of average play season until the French Open, and honestly it was sad to see him. Zverev is actually going to play in 5 minutes approximately. It's right now it's 8 and 12 p.m. In 3 minutes from the time that was scheduled the match, he's going to play on Philippe Chatrier against Grigor Dimitrov, a very interesting match. And I think that this tournament, this is a key of this video, and I want to talk about this a few moments later. This tournament is going to be a key for Zverev because he has a really, really good draw for at least going to the semis, in my opinion, and even to the final, because I think that Ruud, who's not playing the best tennis of his career, and Rune, who's also not playing the best tennis of his career, I think that either Ruud or Rune are 2 players that Zverev can play with at the same level if he plays great tennis. But talking about Zverev's clay season and the rest of the season, he played then Indian Wells Miami. Miami lost against Kashin, winning only 4 games. He was also bailed in the second set or in the first one. He lost something like 6-love, 6-4, 6-4, 6-love. Then he lost against Daniil Medvedev in Indian Wells. He seemed competitive. He was competitive against, I think, the second best player in the world as of today, or maybe he's still number 1 in the race, but I say that he's the best player in the world. One of the best players in the world, Daniil Medvedev. He had a disappointing Roland Garros, but still, he had a monstrous year as of today. Against Medvedev he was competitive. Against Medvedev he was also competitive in Monte Carlo, where he lost in the third set after saving for the match a couple of times after even having match points, if I remember well. Then he played against Zverev against Medvedev again in Rome, but it was already a better Medvedev on clay. He was already transitioning from Medvedev to Medvedev. No, that's a joke, of course. Daniil doesn't lack. What a bad error really, but we don't care. I'm here to speak English. I'm here to learn more about the language. As I've said multiple times, if you're English, even if you're not English, because there are a lot of guys who speak English better than me. Let's be real. I speak English great. I don't want to be arrogant or cocky, but it's the truth, considering the circumstances. So I want to talk about the circumstances. I will also take example of my class in school, and I'm the best one, or top 3 at least, speaking English. I'm among 1 or 2 people the best at speaking English. Maybe we would say, okay, your class has a really, really bad level of English, but I think that speak English well. Given my age, I'm 14, I'm not 15 or 16, guys, I'm not so old, I'm incredibly young. I always want to think that I'm 13 in order to get people to say that I'm 14. But I'm 14 years old. I'm 14 years old, I'm really young. I speak English since I was 6, so 8 years learning English, and I think that I made a good progress. Still, I'm still not really good compared to an English people. There is no comparison. He speaks English way better than me. But there are also guys who follow me who speak English way better than me, or even I know at least one or two guys. So corrections are here. If I'm saying something wrong in terms of verbs, grammatically speaking, talking about the pronunciation, I think I have a good pronunciation. It's never going to be as natural as an English person, but it can improve a lot. It's still not perfect, and it will never be perfect probably. But now talking about the video, because I opened this little paragraph of the video talking about my English, Zverev in this tournament has a big chance of coming back where he belongs. Because the draw since Yannick Sinner's loss and since Yannick Sinner lost and Daniil Medvedev lost, his quarter was opened. He had potentially a clash with Yannick Sinner in the fourth round, and he had a clash with Medvedev in the quarterfinals had he won against Sinner. But instead, now he has Dimitrov, who's playing great, because in the first round, we can't lie, Dimitrov played really, really well, but I think that for Zverev, this tournament is possibly the most important tournament of his career, if he ends up winning slams. I believe that this tournament for Sascha, it's really important because of his draw. He has an incredible opportunity to reach at least the semifinals, because let's analyze the draw a bit. Now he plays against Grigor Dimitrov. If he wins, he plays against the winner of Nishioka, the winner between Nishioka and Echeverry. Not two unbeatable guys. He's the favorite against both of them. Potentially in the semis, he starts to meet tough opponents, of course, because you are in the semis of a Grand Slam. You are in the semis of Roland Garros, so you have to face the best players in the world. And he faces the winner if he reaches the semifinal, the winner between the quarterfinal match of that Casper Ruud and Holger Rune are going to play. He's going to face one of those two opponents. And he has a chance against both of them. I saw Rune play today and he won miraculously against Serundolo. He almost lost. And I also watched Ruud playing, who's playing better since Rome, but it's not at his standard level, I think. So he has a chance against both of them. If he reaches the final, it's a huge boost of confidence. And even if he reaches the semifinal, his ranking stays the same if he reaches the semifinals, and he gains some spots if he reaches the final. And this would be, I think, crucial for his comeback. Zverev is still not his best, even if I see that he's improving. And I think that for him to reach the semis in this tournament would be vital. I think that he's going to reach the semis. I believe that because he has a lot of motivation to do so, and he wants to show the world that he's one of the best players in the world, and that he's definitely and finally coming back where he belongs. And I think that that's the end. The question of the video was, will Zverev ever be back at the highest level? My answer is yes. I bet that after this Roland Garros, he's still going to take some months in order to reach his level, but I think that in 2024, we're going to see the real Zverev back. I don't know if he's going to win a major, but I think we can see Zverev competing for big titles again. Thank you very much for the like, for everything, for the support that you're giving to me, that are showing to me, which is huge, honestly. It's incredible how people wouldn't even know each other's. So because I don't know any one of you, apart from some of my ex-classmates, I don't know the vast majority of my subscribers, and we still have a great relationship. And I really want to thank every one of you for this incredible support. Leave a like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, activate the notifications bell, and leave a comment saying is better telling your opinion about this topic. Thank you very much guys, and I'll see you in the next video.